What's up, technicians? Welcome to Respect the Technique. Today we're going to do something a little different. It's normally Respect the Technique. I like to show individual techniques and break it down that way. It's not Respect the Recipe, but this is a special request from a good friend of the show, my next door neighbor Brad, who's a great technician in his own right, who will be featured on the show. And he loves Fettucine Alfredo, which any self-respecting Italian will tell you does not exist in Italy. But in Italy, they do have butter and cream sauces on pasta with Parmesan cheese, and that's what this is. So sit back and enjoy Fettucine Alfredo. Okay, so you got to salt your water. The water should be quite salty, as salty as seawater, because that's where the flavor is coming from in the pasta. It should be saltier than anything you would ever eat or drink. Water needs to be at a rapid boil when you drop the pasta in. Give it a stir, and you're going to come back and stir it, 2, 3, 4 times throughout the cooking process to make sure it doesn't stick together. Got the pan already hot. Butter, cream, Parmesan, black pepper. Those are our ingredients. And we're going to go in the hot pan. See, it starts to bubble right away. And then the cream cools the pan down. And you got to bring it back up to a simmer. Checking the pasta. Giving it a stir. Now we got the bubble, the simmering is starting, and left unattended, this pan, the cream will over boil if you don't control the heat and keep stirring it. See that? I'm showing there it's starting to increase the volume. If you just leave that alone, it'll boil right over the top of the pan. You'll lose a bunch of cream, make a big mess. It's going to get on the stove, and it's all bad. So you really got to watch that. Don't let it boil over. This move's very important, essential. Use your rubber spatula. You need a heat-proof rubber spatula. And you run it around the outside of the pan, keeping contact, taking the edge around, and make sure nothing builds up on the side of the pan, because it can start to caramelize and affect your flavor. You don't want any caramelization to happen in this dish. Also, scrape the bottoms. Got to make sure nothing sticks to the bottom of your pan. Check the pasta again. And I think it's close to done. The timer went at this point, so we're going to check to see if the pasta's done. How do we do that? Throw it against the wall? No. We taste it. And that's how we can tell how done it is exactly. It's a little underdone at this point, so I let it go for another minute or so. Cream's reducing nicely. Going to drain the pasta water off. You don't have to get all the water off. You want some of that water to actually get in the sauce, because the starch is going to help with the thickening and the texture and consistency. Now, also helping with the thickening is a lot of Parmesan cheese, essential ingredient. So there's no roux or thickening agent in here. The reduction of the cream and the addition of the Parmesan cheese thickens it. And you see that? It looks a little grainy. That's not a problem. It's just the nature of the beast. Little extra Parmesan cheese just to get it to the consistency I want. Now look at that. That's beautiful. Just what it should look like. You see the little area of metal that becomes visible for a second there, and then it pours back in and covers it. That's how you know you got a nice thick consistency. Now, Monte au beurre. This is the gangster way to make fettuccine alfredo or butter and cream sauce. This is mounting butter. You take the pan off the heat, put room temperature butter, and you stir it in. And it doesn't melt, it emulsifies, which means it blends into the sauce without separating, without melting. It keeps its creamy consistency. If you do this over the heat, you run the risk of breaking the sauce, which means the fat will separate from the proteins, and you'll have that like clear, yellowy butter in there. You don't want that. You want this to remain creamy. So now the pasta goes in. Give it a stir. The heat goes back on just for a minute, just to heat the starches in there, the cream and everything, and make the whole dish come together. But be careful. Too much heat too long in the pan, and you can break the sauce. See this nice move? You're turning the pasta and make it all come together so that you get most of it out of the pan in one move. So I put it on there and left some height. You know, you want it to have some height. So the rest of it, pile it on the top. Try to create as much height as you can. Just kind of makes it more visually appealing. A little bit of extra sauce over the top. And this is basically a garnish. A little bit of Parmesan cheese. A little bit of black pepper. And that's it, technicians. That's how we make fettuccine Alfredo, or pasta with a butter and cream sauce. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and also let me know in the comments what techniques or recipes that you would like to see on here. And it's not limited to cooking, of course. We've got great martial artists, great construction guys. Any art form or craft or profession is welcome here at Respect the Technique. We respect everybody who's working, who has techniques. We're all part of the massive technique army. So thank you for watching, everybody. We'll be back. We'll see you soon. Take care. Much love.